For your research project for science, I want to remind you that this is going to be a test grade. This project will take the place of you doing a final exam for my class. At this point, you should have already signed up for which synthetic material you would like to research. I want to make sure it was pointed out to you that if you choose chloroquine, Taxol, or aspirin, these are more challenging ones, and the other ones are the options that were given to all of the students that I've had. These three have been made available to you because you're in the honors science class. So hopefully you have signed up for it already. If not, stop watching this and go sign up. In order to find what you need to know for this assignment, go to my Canvas page, go down to Friday, and there's the link to the assignment. All of the information you need can be found here. There are 4 main questions that you will need to research about your product. Question 1, what natural resources are used to make it? We talked about how all synthetic materials come from a natural resource, so you need to find what yours was from. Question 2, you need to find what chemical processes are used to make the synthetic product. When we did gel worms in the lab, we did a chemical reaction just by mixing the two. For your products, it's probably going to be more complicated than that, but you should be able to find something for the chemical process. It might include what kind of molecules you have. You might find whether or not heat needs to be applied, or if things need to get mixed, or if pressure is applied. That is what you should be looking up for that. Question 3, what are the positive impacts on society of making and using the synthetic product when compared to a natural product? And how is the synthetic product better? And then question 4, what are the negative impacts to society of making and using the synthetic product? Once you do your research, you're going to present it in one of 4 ways. And when I say present, I mean you'll be turning it into me. You are not going to do a presentation in front of the class for this. So you can choose either doing a poster, a pamphlet, an infomercial, which is where you record yourself talking about the product, kind of like the infomercials that you see online for ellipticals or copper pans, and they tell you all about the product. You would be making one of those, but about your synthetic source. Or a Google slide presentation. If you choose to do PowerPoint instead of Google Slides, that is okay, as long as you still upload it to Google Drive and share it with me. So those are the basic directions. As you can see, if you click this link, you can see further directions. So here's what it has for you. This is not due on Tuesday. For your class, just for honors science, this is going to be due in class on Thursday next week. Thursday is when we have time set aside for our 6th period final because it's an even class period. So your project must be done when you come to class on Thursday. The bold questions here are your 4 main questions, but you'll see the dashes underneath that show the sub-questions, which can help you answer your questions completely. You will need to make sure you're answering those sub-questions, as those will be graded as well. Questions 3 and 4 are to determine the positive and negative impacts on society compared to a natural product. So on this list, you will see the natural product that you are going to compare your product to. So if you chose plastic bags, you will compare to paper bags and have to describe why plastic bags are better than paper and why they are worse than paper. So you can see what these would be for all of them: plastic bottle, glass bottle, disposable diaper, cloth diaper, synthetic fibers. If you chose synthetic fibers, you can do polyester or nylon, or both of them. You compare that to cotton and wool. Kevlar, which is used in bulletproof vests, you'll be comparing to iron armor, like the real iron armor that knights used to wear. Artificial sweetener compared to regular sugar, synthetic rubber to natural rubber, chloroquine to quinine, Taxol to these two, and aspirin to salicylic acid. If you choose to do a poster, I want you to make this in the easiest, most simple way so you're not wasting time. So if you do a poster, there are 4 questions that you need to answer. Divide your poster into 4 sections, just like this picture here. This box will be for question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. If you do a pamphlet, this would get folded like a brochure. Here would be your front cover, and then as you open, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, the back would have your Works Cited page. If you do an infomercial, it does need to be 2 minutes maximum. So this is what I would suggest, although if it's not exactly these lengths, that's fine. But it'd be about 20 seconds per question. And then if you do Google Slides, or a PowerPoint, this is your guidance for that. If it ends up being longer than 6 slides, that's all right, but it should be a minimum of 6, your first slide being your title page, and then question 1, 2, 3, 4, and your Works Cited. Doing a proper Works Cited is worth 1/5 of your grade on this assignment. I suggest that you use EasyBib if that's what you're most familiar with to help you with your citations. This will be checked for plagiarism. You must make sure that all of your words that you put in your project are going to be your own words. Back to the Canvas assignment. On this link, there's some websites that you can use to get started. I suggest you do look at these to begin. You can use other websites if you need to, but this is the good spot to start because these have been checked. I did notice earlier in the week that a couple of these links no longer work, so if you find a link that doesn't work, then obviously don't use it. But there are links for all of them. This assignment is getting completed by all 7th graders in our district, so that includes 7th graders at Maple Creek, which is why right now I see a lot of people up here, but I also see people I don't recognize because Maple Creek is also accessing this document. So these are links that you may use. Back to the Canvas page, there's one more thing to help you get started. If you click this link when you get to Canvas, it will automatically make this assignment in your Google Drive, so you'll be able to see it there. This is where I want you to organize all of your research. So I have the 4 questions written here in bold, as well as the sub-questions for you to answer. You must find a minimum of 3 sources per question. It is okay if you have a source that you used here in question 1 repeated for question 2 if it answered both questions. But for each question, you must have 3 different ones. So what I suggest you do here is if you find something online that you want to use, let me move my area a little so you can see what I'm doing. So let's say you were searching for, how about what does aspirin come from, since that's what Google found. If I wanted to use this website, remember you cannot cite Google as a source. You would have to cite the actual web page that it came from. So if I go to this web page and I looked at it and found that it happened to be accurate, if I wanted to use this information right here, I could copy it, put it here for my source 1. Make sure you copy the web address as well so that you can make your Works Cited from it. Do that for all 3 sources, and then here at the bottom, make sure you read the information you found and put it in your own words. This template is to help you organize your research. It is okay if you use this for direct quoting. However, everything in your own words needs to be exactly that. You cannot use any direct quotes. And what you put on your poster or PowerPoint or whatever you're making should come only from this category. So go ahead and put your sources here so it's easy for you to find them so that you can organize them and make your works cited page. But down here, you're going to type it into your own. Let me get rid of this so I don't forget to do that. And you can see that this shows question 2, 3, and 4. So you'll be able to organize all of that. If you have questions as you're going, I suggest you, or I assume that you will have some questions. Write them down, ask them to me next week on Monday when I am back. But for now, I need you to go to Canvas. I want you to get started on your assignment, and I will see you all on Monday.